In this video, I'm going to be going over all the best gear you can buy for competitive Fortnite. I'll go over things like the best keyboard and mouse, best monitor, best mouse pads, and more. For each of these, I'll give two options. One being the best possible one you can buy no matter the price, and the second one being the best value option for people that are shopping on a budget but still want gear that is more than good enough to go pro using. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is also one of the most controversial: mice. Good gaming mice are abundant, and it often boils down to your own personal preferences and taste. For the people shopping without a budget, I think that the best mouse, regardless of its price tag, currently is the Razer Viper V3 Pro. While it is quite expensive, generally costing around $160, it is more than worth the price. It has a medium size which fits most hand sizes with very reliable clicks, scroll wheel, and side buttons. I've had a G Pro Superlight among other mice in the past, and generally something is faulty with at least one of the features that I just listed, but with the Viper V3, every aspect of the mouse is extremely solid and very durable, which means it will last you a very long time. As for my budget choice, I'm going with the Razer Cobra. This mouse has been lowered down to an insane price of only $35. This mouse is a very good build quality, which is the standard for Razer mice in general now, as Razer as a gaming accessory brand has become much better in the last 2 years. The clicks, side buttons, and scroll wheel all feel very high quality, as if this is a mouse you just spent a ton of money on. The switches they use for the clicks are actually the same ones they use for the most expensive mice, meaning you're getting the best possible switches for just a fraction of the price. Even though this mouse is cheap, it will not hold you back in any way when it comes to Fortnite competitive or gaming in general. Since the introduction of NA Central and reload cups, tons of people have been struggling with packet loss and high ping, but Gear Up Booster is just the application that can fix all of those things. Gear Up's anti-packet loss feature uses high quality routing to ensure that you don't experience any packet loss while you play. The best part about Gear Up though is the ping reduction. Gear Up uses the most optimal routing to ensure that your connection is the lowest possible latency, giving you the best possible ping. If you're on console and want this too, don't worry. Gear Up has a gaming router with all the same effects called Hyper EV. Tons of pros like Peterbot, Tickle, and Cooper use it. Go down in the description and try it out for yourself today. The next peripheral I need to talk about are keyboards. While keyboards might not seem like the most important thing for competitive Fortnite, now some of the more expensive keyboards actually offer features that give you a competitive advantage. The keyboard I recommend if you're trying to get the best one money can buy is the Wooting 60HE Plus. While $180 is a steep price, it will make sense once you realize how much of an advantage it gives you. The first insane feature is rapid trigger. To try to make it make sense without confusing you, basically, instead of having to fully wait for the key press to unpress after activating it, rapid trigger dynamically changes the actuation point and deactivation point to wherever you let go of the key first and wherever you begin to press the key again. This means that, for example, while spamming edits, instead of having to wait for your edit key to come all the way up before starting your next edit, you can immediately press down before it comes all the way up to start your next edit. This keyboard also allows you to completely control the initial actuation point up to the millimeter with their software. It's not realistic for all of us to drop $200 on a keyboard, and that's okay, because the budget option is actually the keyboard I've been using for the last 3 years, and it's still a really good keyboard. The GK61 is a 60% mechanical gaming keyboard, which means that it doesn't have a number pad or its own function keys. However, that only leaves more room for your mouse, which is a benefit. You can choose any switches that you like with them, but I recommend you go with the Gateron Optic Yellow switches. Gateron Optic Yellow have extremely fast actuation, making this keyboard one of the fastest even for its incredibly low price. The durability of this thing is insane also. As I said, I've been using it for years and never once have I encountered a problem with it. The build quality feels really solid, and overall feel of the keyboard is nice too. The next important piece of equipment for competitive Fortnite is your monitor. Monitors have all different types of specs such as resolution, refresh rate, and response time. Since in Fortnite only 1080p is necessary, the most important specs for competitive are refresh rates and response time. A monitor's refresh rate is the number of times per second that the screen updates with a new image. So if your monitor is only 60Hz but you're running your game in 144 FPS, you're only seeing 60 of the 140 FPS. That's why when choosing a monitor, the most important thing to think about are the limitations and capabilities of your PC. If your PC gets 144 or 160 FPS, there's no reason to get a 240Hz monitor. And as for anything past 240Hz, such as 280 or 360Hz monitors, I think it's completely unnecessary. Even the best PCs in the entire world can't get 360 FPS in endgame, and what you might be thinking, well, even if it's not consistent in endgame, it's still an advantage for creative and midgame. That's just not entirely true either. Rather than give you an advantage, all it does is make you feel like you're playing on two different games at different points in the game, and the lack of consistency makes it hard to build, edit, and especially aim. For my recommendations, first off, if you run 144 to 165 FPS, you should get the Acer Nitro 23.8-inch 165Hz monitor. This monitor has a 1 ms response time, making it one of the fastest, along with being cheap, coming in at only $110. Now, if your PC gets 240 FPS, or you want to get a monitor that's future-proof if you ever upgrade your PC, you can get the Z-Edge 24-inch 240Hz 1 ms monitor. This is only $30 more expensive, coming in at $140, and both these panels are around 24-inch, which is perfect for competitive gaming because, contrary to popular belief, small-sized panels allow you to see more at once, which gives you better awareness in a game like Fortnite. The next piece of equipment that I'll be going over are mousepads. Mousepads tend to be heavily reliant on preference. Some people prefer a super smooth glide, while others want something more rough and controlled. What I can say, however, is that a mousepad is not a thing that will hold you back from going pro. As long as you have a decent mousepad, you'll still be able to compete at the highest level. As for my recommendations, if you want a more coarse and controlled feel to your mousepad, look no further than Mousepad Company. They have an array of mousepads that are all super textured and give a super rough but controlled feeling to your aiming. Depending on the size, they can range from anywhere from around $25 to $60 if you get a full-size desk mat. If you just want to get the cheapest thing possible that's still decent quality, there are plenty of options on Amazon for around 15 bucks. However, if you want to buy the best possible mousepad, I recommend the Artisan Hein Soft Hardness. This mousepad is absolutely perfect. It has a smooth yet controlled glide, and I've had it for over a year without any signs of wear. After using it for a while, it began to get quite dirty, but after a quick wash, it was as good as new again with no signs of any wearing. Although it does cost $84, if you have the capital to spend on a mousepad that will last you a very long time, I highly recommend it. The next thing you'll need for competitive Fortnite gaming is the perfect headset. Unfortunately, as far as headsets go, you do need to spend a decent amount of money if you want to get something that's worth what you're paying for. Instead of paying $20 for a headset that'll break in a couple months, I think that the best headset are the Hyperx Cloud 2s. Although they are a little pricey, coming in at around $80 new, you can opt to buy them refurbished for a lower price, and oftentimes they're on sale as well. These have top quality sound, are comfortable to wear for long hours, and come with a built-in microphone if that's a necessity. If you don't like wired headphones, you can choose to pay a little more for the wireless ones. They're usually around $10 more expensive than the wired ones. If you want to spend a little more, you can get the HyperX Cloud 3s, which are the new improved versions of the ones I just talked about. At the time I'm recording this, they're all on sale on Amazon, and you can get them for around $70, which is actually cheaper than the 2s. Either way, make sure you purchase a quality set of headphones because they help with competitive gaming more than people think. Now, as far as chairs go, obviously you could still go pro in your grandma's 60-year-old kitchen dining chair. However, for a lot of us, we spend multiple hours a day in our chairs, and therefore I think it's important to invest some money into a comfortable and healthy chair. That way you aren't detrimenting your future health by wasting away with horrid posture in a bad chair. In my opinion, gaming chairs are actually a waste of money. While they look really cool and are often marketed to be good for long hours of gaming, I think that office chairs are generally designed to be more ergonomic and comfortable for long hours of use as opposed to gaming chairs. Gaming chairs have to overcome the inherent problem of being a gaming chair to become a decent chair. Gaming chairs have to have a certain aesthetic that they need to fit, and that's the first priority rather than the actual comfort of the user. My budget recommendation for this is actually different than everything else. To get a really universally comfortable chair, it often costs north of $1,000, which is just completely out of most people's price range for a chair. So what I would say, the best and most budget-friendly option is to look at Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and see what you can buy used. Oftentimes you can find chairs worth a lot of money for much cheaper that way. If you want to buy something new, again, rather than just buying something someone on the internet said is comfortable, I think that the best way to get something good is to go to a store and try some stuff out in person. This way you can feel a variety of chairs and feel which one supports the specific way you sit best. I hope I helped you choose some products. Check these two videos out, like and subscribe, no long answers, bye.